Your face during the Mr. 3 part when Crocodile grabbed his neck, I couldn't even look at the screen because I was staring at you. You were so shook.
Oh, it was awesome. I love. See, I wish I had seen something like that for Wample. You know what I mean? I just want to see his like veins pop and like know that he's dead forever.
Yeah. Hello and welcome to Worlds of Scry. I am your narrator, Kirk D.
I'm Scryerman.
And we are back in Alabasta reacting to a new episode of One Piece. So a couple things to hash out before we jump back in. I think first and foremost, we spent a little bit of time putting timestamps together that we put in the description box, which we think is very helpful. We understand that everyone, including our brains, have the attention span of a tiny monkey. So we figured it would be helpful for you guys. They're always there in the description if you need them. They feature all kinds of important moments throughout the episode, and we try to throw in little like inside jokes and ties to pop culture and whatnot as well. So definitely go check those out. We're going to be including them in every single video. And on that note, thank you to everyone who's been helping us with the Kickstarter of this channel, particularly the boys in the Discord and our friends who have been showing us support even though they don't necessarily watch One Piece. And you could see just over the last couple weeks that the success of the channel has multiplied immensely, starting with all that help, and now it's grown organically into people who genuinely just are looking for One Piece content, and we are fortunate enough for them to land on our channel. So thank you. We will continue to push along, but really appreciate the support in the meantime. I think the other big notable things that we've done is coming off the success of some of our other videos, you could see that we've enlarged us a little bit. We have tried to dull down the transparency on the video, walking that fine line, so hopefully the content looks a little bit more visible. And of course, we're just a little bit more conscientious of our movements and background noise and stuff like that. But other than that, I think, we've learned a lot in the last couple episodes that we put live, and we're excited to put it all into action here as we jump back into Alabasta.
So it's only up from here, so let's jump in. Spider's Cafe. Is there anything on it?
Yeah, so, okay. Hold up. Ring, 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 alarm, alarm, alarm. So just so the audience knows, we skipped the last two episodes because they were classified as filler. But from what I'm seeing, I think there was something very important that happened at the end of the previous episode. So we're going to pause right now. We're going to pull that up, and I'm just going to make sure. All right. Emergency backtrack. We had to go back into the middle of the first filler episode, not even the second episode, not even the last one. We had to jump back in the first one. I had to do a little bit of investigating to realize that right before this Scryerman, they found out that Blackbeard isn't on this island. And I don't know where it is in the cut content, but that's what they just found out, and that's what put in motion this scene after a filler that was just around Ace that was just pointless, right? They just wanted to get a little bit more Ace screen time. So with that said, jumping into this scene.
Okay. Oh, and Ace is gonna pee. He's had enough.
There's the paper.
Knowing what happens right after, it's really funny. That's really stressful. A piece of paper.
Mm-hmm.
All right, see you in 500 episodes.
So these were like the filler guys.
So they don't exist.
Bring it back. All right, now that we've done the emergency backtrack to see Ace leaving and leaving a weird piece of paper with Luffy, we are now officially jumping back into 103. Let's do it.
Easy. You can rip it. It's stressful too because they're always in the water, so it's like.
Yeah. Like, I feel parched for them. I'm probably also dehydrated myself.
You need 3 liters a day. That's a good idea.
He's so dependable, you know?
I'm glad he didn't have to get out of the camel.
Yeah.
Because you know Luffy would. Stretches from down there.
Yeah.
Sanji, can you, like, fuck off?
He's being a negative Nancy.
Yeah. Man, the size of Vivian Nami's eyes sometimes in the close-up throws me for a loop. It's overwhelming.
The water looks so refreshing.
It is. It's appropriate.
You failed. Here it is, the setup.
Ooh, who's this? It's making me uncomfortable.
Yeah. It's a good point.
Yeah.
Undo.
That's her life choice, not...
Who's that? Who'd that be? Toi.
He makes friends everywhere he goes, huh?
Yeah. They really make him ugly in the earlier episodes.
He's getting a redesign at some point.
No, they just put an emphasis on him being ugly.
There's some good affirmations. I like to think he's got a good heart. I haven't seen otherwise yet, but...
Come my way! That's a pun, by the way. Okama means, like, a girly boy in Japan. So, oh, come my way means Okama. Yeah. Yeah, so the actual meaning is okama is Japanese slang for homosexual, especially one who's viewed as effeminate or a drag queen.
Okay, so checks out.
So Mr. 3 is spying on the operation because he just heard Mr. 2 say he was going to assassinate him.
I want to see some more neck breaking like the gopher and the bird got.
Hmm.
Man, imagine this being your shift at work. I'd be like so done. You work at Starbucks and all these people come in. Oh shit. The dance crew's messed up. Yeah, his brain's bleeding. I mean, he probably stands the best chance. One down. That's actually kind of cool.
You got a
This
clean hit
fight's all
on him.
dance. Yeah, he's not even using his real power, right? That's just straight up his fighting ability.
Mm-hmm.
Why was she lecturing her about her line of work if they work together?
Because they didn't know.
Yeah.
Remember, this whole organization is built on secrecy.
Mm. Okay, questions answered.
Yep.
Dang. Oh, that looks like a crocodile jaw. Oh man, just a big old stogie. All right.
So something doesn't look right. Remember, so Yuba is the city with the old man and her old best friend as a kid. This is the city they went to go create in Vivi's backstory.
The one that was like an oasis, right?
Yeah. Right in the middle of all of Alabasta.
Oh, with the kid who saved her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, I see. So a lot of the like outside cities just got dummied, huh?
Yeah. Who's that?
Imagine walking all that way and then it's not.
Yeah.
That's brutal.
Remember, they came here to stop the rebel army from rebelling.
Who, Luffy and crew?
Mm-hmm. Vivi, yeah. Back where they came from. Remember, Chopper ran into it. Yep.
Oh, oh, so they were in the town that had it.
Mm-hmm. They're all beating up his
Oh,
camel.
the camel knew. He
Yeah.
doesn't care. He's hydrated.
Yeah.
All he has to do is walk anyway.
Oh, this is really important.
Is that the kid's dad?
Yeah,
I thought
that's
it
right.
was him for a second. He just aged like Obi-Wan in the desert.
Now you know it's fate. Remember, it's his son that's leading up the rebellion.
Mm. So he's kind of like upset because he's still worried about him, I guess.
Worried about
Like,
him. He
because of what
believes in the
happened.
king. And he spent the last, 10 years making this place an oasis. And he's the only one
Right.
left. It's a lot of emotions to see Vivi right now. It's moments like this that I really respect Vivi, because you can understand all the turmoil mentally that she's going through, and
Right.
she knows she needs to step up and be a princess and a leader to someone who believes in her and her dad.
Well, they showed that when she was a kid too, and slapped around and like handling it really
Yep,
diplomatically.
yep. Here's the sun.
Oh, that's him.
See the scar?
Mm, wonder what happened to that optimism.
Well, we know to an extent. Maybe not all the nitty gritty, but we know about the rain powder, and they think that the king has been hoarding it this whole time.
Oh, right. I forgot that happened after, right? Like they
Mm-hmm.
set off.
Happened last 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you can't really blame him from his
No,
perspective.
his perception, 100%. That they know of. Remember, they've been going at this for what, 6-7 years now, and like all the plotting. They think the king is a tyrant. It goes to show too. Like you look at the difference between him and Wapol, and how much we know about Nefertari Cobra as it stands right now, and how much of a different personality he is from Wapol. And we know Wapol's a
Yep.
tyrant, but all of his kingdom views him in the same perception that Wapol's kingdom viewed him. That's crazy
Right.
to think about.
So walk me through the timeline again. So they set off to make their own town after they helped Vivi, and then it was only discovered recently the rain powder. When was the rain powder discovered?
Yeah, within the last like probably year and a half or two, which is what
Right, because
that
that
was
was
the
a
big
flashback.
spark, because they've been mad at him for years over things, but that was like the final thing. And so for the last like 10 years, people have been blaming him for saying he hasn't been able to control his kingdom and spread the wealth and everything. And they've been saying that he's been letting all these prosperous like cities and towns dry out. But he's like, I can't control the weather. I'm doing everything in my power. But then, so many years later, they find out that rain powder has been being used on the capital for probably months to years at that point, and that's why they
Right,
haven't been getting rain. And they think it's his doing and it was his order.
as
That was
far as
like
we
the
know,
final thing.
unbeknownst to him.
Yes, exactly.
Right. So when they set off to build their own town, everything was good. There was still kind of rain everywhere.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like for all accounts, that city was prosperous probably for the first five. It was
Right.
probably a
Okay.
gold
Cool.
mine, which is why the old man
Right.
is so determined to make sure it goes back to its former glory in behalf of the king because he believes in it.
Right.
And that's a very important point too, because I was watching a YouTuber talk about that old man and how it plays into a bigger story of Alabasta that I never even put two and two together. So I'm going to walk you through it as we go through it, but pay very
Cool.
close attention to him, the old man, and that story about Yuba. Jumping into
104.
kaboom!
Oh, wow.
That was such a creepy pose he had.
Yeah. Sanji's been rubbing me the wrong way the past 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Some intricate wallpaper. Yeah, I was wondering, like, how was he even crying and not totally dehydrated?
Totally.
Unless he had, like, a water tower back in the day. He's the only one drinking from it.
So he's talking about how it was left in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
This is his treasure, right?
So he feels responsible, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good... I like how you keep reinforcing that.
And Luffy feels... Because this city is his treasure, similar to Luffy's hat, right?
Right.
So he understands. There's simple language things that go through to Luffy sometimes. So while everyone else is sleeping, Luffy feels this moral obligation to help this man.
Is he digging for water or what? We don't know.
Yeah, the oasis.
Yeah, this
so this is very important, right? Yeah. They've never all met each other, right?
This is their first manager meeting.
Miss all Sunday.
Favorite day of the week. I want to know the interview process for this company.
Yeah. None of them knew.
Final operation. He didn't even know they were pirates. Yeah, I would be shutting right out.
He already has money and status. That's a good point. Noon tomorrow. What an idiot.
I would have teased.
I forgot about that. Wow, I did not remember Mr. 3 showing up after being ordered to be assassinated. Wow.
You better have some good info or dirt or something.
Give credit to Mr. 3, I mean. Remember, he didn't know. He thought they'd been dead this whole time. Because he was talking to Sanji.
Or has to take a big puff.
Because they got their neck snap. Long nose man.
You saw the only shout out of the
Yeah, that's like the first thing that went to his brain. It wasn't. Can you imagine being so flabbergasted?
Those are good sketches.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Mr. Two didn't even know.
Who are they missing from the list? Who was in the kitchen when Mr. Two came on the ship?
Anji. And Karoo, technically.
Yep.
Hope this crocodile likes wax.
Look at all their faces.
Yeah, you show up at your first staff meeting. Managers gets fucking. No, so he's funding the rebels.
Yeah, he's plants. Since it's a day beforehand, they're using snails, even though they can be intercepted. But they've been
He just
very
doesn't
careful.
care, right? Yeah.
They've used the lizards and the birds and all that stuff to deliver mail. Very careful. Well, he's one day away. The operation is tomorrow morning. Tomorrow afternoon.
Right, so he can't even send like a. So would Mr. Three taste like
Fucking
flesh or like
gross
wax?
Yeah. Genuine Yuba water. That's cute.
And he gave it all to Luffy, yeah?
Because he's the one who dug for it.
Right.
Respect thing.
Well, I hope he finds more. Scrappy all of a sudden. I wants to go back and help dig.
what he was doing there is breaking down her having that princess, those feelings when she's talking to a citizen where she feels the need or the must to be a princess in those moments. To me, the scene is him breaking that down and being like, you can't always just think like a princess, like we are your friends and you can't sacrifice all by yourself. We've come this far. It can't just be you suffering. We're all in this, you know.
So he's kind of he's trying to bring that, like, just break down her kind of wall there.
Yep. You think about when she wanted to cry when she met the old man from Yuba, and she stopped herself because she knew she had to reach a level. So I think what Luffy was doing there, yeah. So what Luffy was doing there was breaking that and being like, you can't think like that. People die. You can't save everyone. That's a reality.
Right.
And if we're gonna do this,
right, he's trying to get her, like, because he knows they're kind of going all in if they go do this. So he's just wants her to recognize that, like, she's gonna have to get scrappy about it.
Your face during the Mr. 3 part when Crocodile grabbed his neck, I couldn't even look at the screen because I was staring at you. You were so shook.
Oh, it was awesome. I love. See, I wish I had seen something like that for Wample. You know what I mean? I just want to see his, like, veins pop and, like, know that he's dead forever.
Yeah. Like, Mr. 3, I'm with you.
All right, so we just saw a great episode with Mr. 3 right after shouting out Usopp his life end. So one of the last things he thought about was Usopp, which is
horrifying.
Yeah, we had a little debate over whether he can reform from wax. I was thinking, like, is this the end of Mr. 3? Can he crawl out of those intestines and reform himself like a candle? Kirk has assured me that that's very unlikely.
It's a good thought, I guess.
The show's got me thinking, like, how far does the breadcrumb trail go? But with that said,
good point.
We're jumping into 105 and to see how this rebellion, the beginning anyway, starts out, I think. Let's go.
105.
Popcorn.
Luffy has his ways, man.
Is Rain Base, like, ironically dry right now because of the drought? Or
Rain Base is the most profitable city. That's where Crocodile resides. So in all of Alabasta,
so is that close to where the King City is, so that it can capital, like, actually get water?
Yeah, let's go back because that's a good point. I'm gonna show you the map, because it's good to know how this all kind of, like, works.
Yeah, by all means.
Okay, so Nanohana is where they first arrived, right? That's when that's where they landed on the water. Kateria, to the right of it, is where Chopper got carted away when he went to sleep in that cart. So it was right next to where they landed, which is the whole ironic thing. So the next thing they did is they went to Arumalu over to the left, and that's where that first city was all dried up. And then they went north of that to Yuba, which is where they were just a second ago. And then they found out in Yuba that the base was actually Kateria, all the way back there where they came from.
Right.
So they began to track back from Yuba Oasis to Kateria when Luffy was like, fuck this. If Crocodile is in Rain Base right above us, I don't want to go through the whole goddamn desert again to get back to here just to try and get these guys to turn around when I could just go kill the source. So that's why he did his whole thing.
Sense. So he also didn't want to, like, go back and correct me if I'm wrong. Was Vivi kind of saying that they should go, like, seek the rebels, and Luffy's like, nah, we got a chance up here, so we're gonna go take it?
Yeah, pretty much. Because that's what the reason they had been chasing around all these cities in the desert is to get the rebels and intercept them before they went to attack the capital, which is above Kateria.
fight for Crocodile and let the rebels do whatever, and they'll go fix that after if they have to.
Kind of, yeah. That's the thought process from Luffy, anyways.
Okay.
So that's why now they're like, fuck this, we're going to Rain Base.
Right. Yeah, no. After seeing Usopp spit that water out disgustingly, no. Okay, right.
Do you remember these guys? Those were all the crew with Vivi when they were kids.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't recognize them though.
Yeah. Subtle.
Those kids got the same spirit.
Yep, as Kozu did when he was a child. Yep, Koza.
This kid's like strapped too. He's got his rocks and stuff. It reminds me of when Dami slapped that kid for wanting to go after Arlong too.
Great analogy.
It's funny because it's like they're like, don't end up like me, living in here or like dead.
100%. And this is what they idolized when they were kids.
Crazy, he's saying it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't recognize him at all until you point out that scar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that mage person's cool.
Who?
He's like the king's like knights.
Yeah.
Or like magi. I like how everyone knows Crew. Just sat on water weight.
Yeah. So he made it.
Oh, I forgot she sent Crew off with a little message.
Mm-hmm.
Crocodile's really scary too because I don't know the limit of his power. It just seems like he can drain the moisture from your body.
Who, Crocodile? Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, what you're watching, for anyone who's watching this content right now, who is caught up in One Piece, this is nuts how this is all tying to where we are currently. And when I say currently, I literally mean the last 2 fucking episodes.
Yeah, Crew's underrated.
You saw he slapped his hand off when he tried to take off the bandage?
Yeah. Oh!
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
And they have no idea they don't understand why he wants to keep it.
No, you can't talk.
Subtle. Mm-hmm.
Sure. So the rebels are gonna show up with no one to fight.
They respect Crocodile more than him.
That's a low perception. It's very wise.
Mm-hmm. Quite the visual, too.
Yeah, so Mihawk's one of them?
Yep.
Hmm. So I'm gonna assume he's the weakest of the seven, but I could be totally wrong. Just because he's first.
Which is why I hate the way they did the bounty system early. Because that's what most people assume, but I don't believe it. That's a great intuition you have, though.
How does
Yeah,
he
I
have a
think that.
bounty though if the government lets him do whatever he wants?
Well, because that was his
Well,
previous bounty before he became a warlord.
before he well, that's
Yeah.
fine. Cause like that's whatever. Maybe he was like
Yeah. Became critically acclaimed early and took the position before his bounty could really race.
yeah, exactly.
And actually, a great point. I'm pausing for a second because it's a good conversation. To date, I still don't know Mihawk's bounty.
Okay.
I think he's the only.
Keep
No,
that in
there's a
mind.
couple. Because they do it on purpose to make you really think about what is his power scaling truly. Because to me, it's still, even where I am, it's inconceivable. So, Crocodile's bounty being revealed as 81 million this early, in my mind, is because he took the position very early on in his career.
That makes sense. That
Yeah,
there's no pothole there to me that checks out completely.
totally. All right. Oh, we could have been talking through. Nailed it.
Third episode that Sanji's rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah, try it. Hydro homies. Love it. Like a smoker's just sitting there chill. I didn't just clued in. It's going to post chopper. You're an animal. It's fine. Like how Sanji's just chilling on it now. He's like, whatever. Now it's
Yeah.
like, let's leave. Everyone leaves chopper. It is true though. He's the most like inconspicuous. He can just gotta.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess he's got the hat though. So,
Mm-hmm.
so those photos are all Mister Two though, right?
Yeah. That was a cool
I thought they were
visual.
going for rain base though.
That they're in Rain Base. That's the city.
Oh.
So now they're being chased by the Baroque Works and the Navy.
Oh,
Hmm.
there was dusting off the blades.
Yeah, it's been a while.
When was the last time you whipped
Sanji's
them out
bringing
when he
out the
killed all those
kicks.
town people?
What?
When was the last time you whipped those swords out when he killed all those townspeople?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a
First arriving
while.
the Grand Line, yeah.
I want to see
It's like
this duo
his
at this
it's
point.
like his kryptonite.
Uh,
Remember, she looks exactly like his childhood friend.
All right. Have we confirmed that it's not her?
No, they haven't officially, but I'm pretty sure at this point in the story it's not. She thinks he's calling her ugly.
Uh, I feel like she's gonna be like a wicked warrior in like 500 episodes. I don't know why.
Could
If
be.
she's not already, I don't know. I haven't seen much from her though.
Yeah. Hmm.
He's just pulling a Sanji.
Eh.
Can't wait to see if that's true or not next time.
And that's it. That is our three-parter episode of getting into the nitty-gritty of Alabasta. Yeah, good point. First time we've seen action in quite a long time. First time we've seen
Good,
Zoro
good.
whip out his sword since they entered the Grand Line, besides petty things like the
Uh,
dinosaurs and stuff.
do you appreciate it more?
You do.
Right?
It's
Because
been a
like,
lot of setup.
did Zoro? Who did Zoro fight in the Chopper arc, the Drum Island arc?
He didn't, remember? He was just kind of like swimming in the
Yeah,
water and
he's just
training.
training, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So the only time before that he whipped it out is when he killed all the Baroque Works villagers,
Agents,
right?
yep. When they first entered the Grand Line, yep. In that town.
Wow, yeah, it feels like forever ago.
Yeah, I mean it has been, right? That's
Eh,
interesting. I think that's the reason why like people look at Alabasta and they understand. You'll see it all come together how critically acclaimed it is, but people definitely have called it slow. Especially if you don't skip the fillers like we did. I could definitely see that like being very like in the dry desert. Like it's a
well, and if you
lot
have
of
to wait week
setup.
to week, right? Like in
Yeah,
in real time when that was airing, that would have been like half a year of
a lot of buildup. Yeah,
yeah.
it's a great point. I definitely remember back in the day, like thinking this arc was pretty slow until it picks up, which it's picking up right now. You could
No,
tell.
back to back, I appreciate the build up,
Yeah,
but I can
totally. It's so important.
definitely empathize with that. We got
Um,
a good little piece with Mr. Three and
yeah,
Crocodile last episode, so
and we're at the
it's
point
paid
now
off.
where yeah, it's paid off, and I'm glad you said it's already paid off. Like it's paying off as we go, because now we are in the point. I mean, we're in rain base. Crocodile's here. Everything is starting to come together. Now it's this is we're hitting the peak of the arc. We're gonna. And I'm not saying like the climax lasts a while. I'm just saying like the peak lasts a while, but we are now at that point. So all this build up is now about to come to fruition.
They works for me. I'm
Yeah.
excited. I'm really pumped to jump back in.
So next week we'll probably watch another 3 or 4, but until then, thanks for tuning in. This is Will the Scry. Peace.